Yo, what's happening guys? Welcome back to Tokimotive. Alright, I know it has been a very long time since I uploaded, but I injured my back at work. I've now got 2 bulging discs in my lower back. It's just been a long ditch effort of trying to recover that to a point that I'm actually able to do things without setting myself back further on my path to recovery, basically. It may never be 100% and I may always be slightly limited on things, but recovery is going really well. It is what it is, and I can finally start taking steps to getting my life back on track, because it's kind of been on hold for the last month and a half. On a good note, I did manage to I can't say squirrel. I did it, there we go. Squirrel away enough money to get myself some fresh coilovers for the front of the wagon, which, if you've seen the last video, the one at Ray Lee, the ones that I swapped in, they were blown. But we've got fresh coilovers, and I'm also going to do a brake upgrade on the front of the wagon while I'm going, because I've decided I'm going to run 33 GTST brakes on the S13. Being that it's going to receive a Forge 30 of some variety, so I'd like to know I can pull it up. On front of the S13 right now, there is a set of brakes similar to what's on the front of the wagon, which is just good turbo brakes from an S13, but they've got big vented slotted rotors and project new pads and a couple of things like that. And also the brakes off the front of the wagon can go to Alex so that he can finish S13 converting the front of my old 31 sedan that he's now put a barrier in because I wouldn't sell him 30. What I've done is I've had the max speeding rod coilovers soaking in oil overnight, and I've been just moving the pillow tops around. One issue they have is prematurely wearing out the top of the coilover and being quite stiff and hard to move when you get the coilovers. But if you soak them in oil overnight and slowly move them around, they free up and you get a lot less issues of like collars and locks and stuff coming undone on the coilover, stiff steering, and they don't wear out anywhere near as quick. Take it as your maintenance, like if you're going to do a big track day, you'd do an oil change. A little bit of oil just around the top of the pillow tops, and it will save the life of the coilover and make it last significantly longer. I've got a rack end on the wagon that is a bit chewed out and started to chatter and get a little bit of movement. So I've got to measure them so that Alex can also buy the same length rack ends for his. I'm gonna crank the tunes and get cracking into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Managed to find the part number on the rack ends. Anyone that's chasing rack ends that suit big long lower control arms, mine being 33 ones. Original part number for them, these are like 320 from where it will mount to the rack itself. The original part number for them is RE1013. If you go to repco, they generally have 2 on shelf. The part number through repco is GRE1524. And they suit 12mm S13 tierod ends, and they match the rack. 16mm by 1.5 thread pitch is the thread on the TRW rack. There's a couple of options out there that I've seen online, like for the smaller S13 conversion sort of stuff, where you get like M14 pulsar rack ends, but there are 2 types because there are 2 racks in them, and one of them has the wrong thread pitch on the actual rack side. And if you manage to get it in, generally you're gonna have a big fight to get it back out again. These boys are like 320mm long, so they're gonna be perfect for my setup. I'll drop those details down in the description just to get the information out there, because there's a lot of stuff for the base S13 conversion, but not a lot of people talking about for longer stuff or a more custom setup. And in my opinion, having an off-the-shelf rack end is pretty crucial. Generally, your rack end is the first thing that breaks in a hit, which is good because they're cheap, $33 each. Break it at the track, usually you can find a parts store that's got one. I'm gonna keep cracking on. It feels really good to be back out here and working. I've still got to be careful, but it's good. I've missed this a lot. It's making me very happy.
What happens if you take the other fucking socket off?
Does. I've seen you do dumber shit before.
Prove it.
Because the ones off of this have not been pre-modded, I'll have to stuff a bit of paper towel in there, keep that safe, and you just cut these little tabs off and then you can run the factory 31 front line. Got fresh brass washers, that way we won't have any brake leaks. Hopefully. Just gotta remember to tighten my caliper soon. Probably a good idea. New rack ends are in, new brakes are in for my setup. That's the dodgiest one of them all, but I have extended the adjustment on the camber tops to pull more camber out because I got such a wide LCA setup. Gonna pop them off and try to replicate that, but hopefully a bit neater. Because let's face it, that's pretty ugly. So I'm gonna try and do it a bit better, and then it's time to set the coilovers all to height and tension. Cracking on with this, and hopefully get it back together pretty quick, and I can take it for a test drive. So one thing I've noticed with max speeding rods, with the newer ones they've brought out, the quality drop in the hardware. You can see this is the new stuff. It's got a lot less aggressive bite on it to grip the alloy for the stud, and it's nowhere near as high a quality metal. So I'm going to run these. I'm going to knock out all the new ones, chuck them in, and then I'm going to run different nuts. Both coilovers are set. Blake's are bread. Blake's are bread. Blake's are bread. I'm sorry, Blake, but I guess you're bread. Blake's brakes are bled. Right. Okay. I think the driver's side line might be a little bit blocked because it didn't drop fluid when I changed the calipers, really. And when I was bleeding it, I still had tension on the pedal. Still went to the floor, so that's still going to work, but I think it's partially blocked. So that's something I'm going to have to look at. I don't think I'm going to do it tonight. It's getting pretty late. The thing was braking pretty good. Like, it didn't really pull or anything, so I don't think it's a major issue, but I'll probably end up pulling the line off of the old Wagon and using it. The boots for the rack and everything are all zip tied back on. Just a simple matter of put the coilovers in, set it up, and give this thing an alignment. I think I got a little bit more positive camber out of these tops than I did the last lot I did, which is good. If I didn't do that, it'd be ridiculous. It'd be like, and it just wouldn't drive nice, it wouldn't drift nice. I'm gonna start fitting them up, and yeah, we'll see how it looks. I've gone a little bit lower than it being 83mm, which is what the old ones were, which what killed the coilovers was I hit that ripple strip real aggressively, and because there's only like this much thread engaged on the actual lower cup sort of knuckle mount part of it, I hit that bump and I smashed it a couple of times, and the coilovers were like 5+ years old. It kinked that and then snapped all the dampening and shock body out of the middle of it, which probably a better way for it to fail than anything else. At least the wheel didn't yeet itself and just munch everything up. But if it means going a little bit lower in the front and getting a bit more thread engagement, so it's a bit safer in terms of that. And plus, who doesn't want to be that little bit more low? Oh, I don't learn my lesson. I haven't got to throw it around much, but it feels really stable, steers really nice. There's no play in the steering whatsoever, so I'd say that rack end was getting a bit tired for a long time. And the coilovers feel mint. Like, once again, I have gotten lucky and gotten myself a good working set of max speeding rod coilovers. And obviously what I did with replacing the studs and the hardware and stuff like that, soaking the camber tops, it's the little things that go a long way to getting the most out of especially a cheaper product. Anyways guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like if you did. If you got any questions of the setup or anything I've done, just drop a comment below. Let me know. I'll reply to everything, so I'll get back to you and help you in any way I can. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you on the next one.